Hello, everybody. So, I hope we are all doing well in these very tricky times. Yeah, pretty rough at the moment, I think, for everybody. Um, I feel there's a lot of different messages coming through. I'm getting different waves of emotion as we go along. Been very hopeful, but I've also been very emotional at different times. But overall, I do feel a sense of hope that we're going to get through this, and I also keep getting through in all my cards that I'm drawing that there's an opportunity for us to come out the other end as a better, you know, it is humanity being better than it is now, and for us to be a better version of ourselves. Now, that might be overly optimistic and might be wishful thinking, but I'm going with it. It's kind of the messages I'm getting. I think we're learning a lot of lessons during this time about connection and how we stay close to each other. And, we're starting to realize what's really important in life. However, I'm not here to go on about that. So, what I wanted to do, because I thought about like how I know a lot of people are struggling at the moment. There's a lot of anxiety around, and there is a lot of stress and pressure on a lot of people because this is serious. There's lots of people losing jobs and losing their source of income. So I'm not underplaying how bad this is for a lot of people. But I thought, how can tarot help us through? Now, they're not all totally tarot related, but it's different ideas for ways that we can get ourselves through these tough times. So let's look at 7 ways that tarot can help us through coronavirus. So, number one, I was looking at, I want you to start, and a lot of people do this anyway, but start drawing a card every day and ask yourself, what do I need to do today? Now, you can ask that question if you want, or you can ask what I need to know, or you can just simply draw the card and take the energy of that card. I think it's a great way to get to know your deck, but also it's just a really good way to give you guidance, and to think about what do I need to do, because it's important for us at this time as well that we do keep moving. That it's very tempting when we're in isolation and when everything's shutting down around us that we start to shut down kind of emotionally as well as physically. So I think it's important that we keep the emotions moving. But I think you can ask yourself, what do I need to do today? And let's see what cards you get through from that and just take inspiration from it. That's what I think I'm hoping to achieve from that, because I do my card a day every day. I do it on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, there's always a message in there. And sometimes it's just warning you. I had the King of Cups the other day, and that was warning me, get ready to ride the waves. And that was probably the most emotional day I've had during this whole thing. So it's like, yep. But I was kind of forearmed and forewarned. Didn't make it easier, but at least I understood why it was happening, So I think you can think about that. So let's move on to number 2. And we have practice gratitude. Now, this is a practice, and this is something I think is essential during this time because, again, it's very easy for us to shut down and to not think, to think about all the things that we don't have, to get into that 5 of Cups space and what we're missing out on, what we've lost. Whereas I think the people that I'm seeing that are doing best during this time are the people who are looking at what they've gained, even like they've gained time. They've gained time with their kids, they've gained time with family, they've got time to reach out to people that they haven't spoken to for ages. They've got time to do these kind of creative projects. They've got time to get better acquainted with their tarot deck, all those kind of things. So, but then it's about being grateful for those things that you have in your life. And trust me, we all have things to be grateful for. Even in the darkest times, there is always something to be grateful for. So keep going back to that. And it can be hard, but once you start to kind of focus on, I'm really grateful that even if things are really bad, I've got a roof over my head, And it might be like, I'm grateful that I can get some fresh air today. Because as we know, it's amazing how quickly things can change. I mean, who would have thought we'd be grateful the fact that we can walking the street with a group of 4 people. We're not allowed to do that anymore. And we would never really practice gratitude thinking about that. So it's important to think about these small things as well, because once they're gone, that's when you think, I should have been grateful for that. So keep up that gratitude practice, and you'll start to see the world differently, and everything will become lighter as well. Start journaling. Now, a lot of these do fall into each other. I'm actually going to attach, I'm going to put a link in the description where you can find, I've got a little template for a tarot journal. And within that, it has a little bit about your card for the day. And it also has a bit about 3 things that you're grateful for. And it has action points. So it will kind of cover all these things that you're going to need in here. So I will put a link to that in the description as well. So you can click on that and download that little template. That might be quite handy. So journaling, you can journal about your tarot. You can journal about your emotions. You can just journal about, you can just free write, it can just be sitting down and for 5 minutes in the morning and just writing whatever comes to your mind. You'll find it will be really hard at first, because you'll be like, it'll be all over the place and jumbled. But once you start to get into it, things will start to flow a bit more. So again, just treat it as a process. Don't get hung up on the outcome. Don't expect to be getting all these amazing messages from spirit on day one, and don't even think of that as a destination. Just start to write, and then you'll probably be pleasantly surprised about where it takes you. But it just helps you get things off your mind during these times as well. Very important for us to process our emotions. There's a lot of us stuck at home on our own, so we've got nobody to talk to. I'm on my own here, so I'm talking to my dog every day. He's going to be so sick of me by the end of this isolation period. But I think, again, important to journal. See, my kind of sense of journaling is drawing my card a day and talking on Instagram and things like that as well. But just make sure that you're connecting, that you're expressing yourself. That's going to be important for you. Then we go through to learn a new skill. So this doesn't have to be tarot related. Of course, you can learn to read tarot. I've got a tarot course, tarotavenue.com/learn. You're welcome to go there. I've reduced the price during this whole thing as well, reduced the price dramatically to make it more accessible for people. I also have a free tarot course, so tarotavenue.com/intro, just a little introduction to tarot reading. But it might be something not tarot related. Maybe it's astrology, maybe numerology, maybe it is how to draw, how to paint. I would encourage something creative, something artistic, something productive in the way that is good for the soul. I think during these times we need to kind of feed and nourish the soul, and that could be anything for you. Honestly, it might be even kind of doing crossword puzzles, or that might be your form of meditation. So it doesn't have to, I'm not going to tell you what it should be, because that's very personal, but I think you should start to think about learning a new skill. Lots of places that you can learn, there's courses on. If you look at Udemy, Udemy, I think that's right. Udemy.com. There is lots of courses on there. Skillshare, but you'll find there's so many different course platforms. So I would encourage you to use this time to feel like you're coming out the end and you've gained something from the experience. I think is quite important. Now, back to tarot. This is one where I would encourage you to go deep in your tarot deck. So go beyond go beyond the reading the books, really get into each card. I would suggest maybe kind of spread out over a day, but maybe if you can do 5 cards a day. Now, just spend, say, 10 minutes with each card, but really look at that card. Look at the symbols in the card. Look at what's standing out to you. I'll just pick one out here. So the Queen of Wands there, but you might want to look at, because instantly I go to the Queen of Wands, it means this, and it has these meanings, but really go beyond that. Go beyond what you know of the card and start to look at, the symbols in there. So the lion in there, but we've also got the lions on the side. Let's look in the background. Those clouds, but look, they're kind of parted, and there's a clearing there. What could those kind of mountains mean? Why is the cat black? Why is its eyes yellow? Does that mean anything to you? Does that have a personal connection with you? Look at the flower. Look at her wrists. She's wearing like bangle things on her wrists. Now, these kind of remind me of like tribal wear or something like that. So I don't know if you can see this properly, but I think that that's something for you to think about yourself. So go into, because I want you to go beyond the normal meanings and go deeper into your deck. So say maybe 5 cards a day, and then all of a sudden you'll come out of this with a whole load of knowledge and a whole new understanding of your tarot deck as well. Now, another great way to do this is to meditate on a card. So I've got a High Priestess meditation, which I'll include a link to that as well. A lot of people have done that meditation actually, and I always get good feedback on it. But pick your own card and just start a meditation. Just hold it in your hand, have a look at it, go deep into that card. Close your eyes down. Think of yourself as entering the scene in that card. What's happening? So you can either pick a card randomly and do a meditation, or you might think, right, today I want to have a day where I really open my heart. I want to have a real day where I feel kind of positive and heart-led day. So you might want to pick the Ace of Cups and then jump into the Ace of Cups and kind of meditate on that card. So that can be a really good way for you as well. And then the last thing I'm suggesting is to join a tarot community. Now, there are lots of groups on Facebook that you can get into. I think it's really important for us in these times as well to focus on connection. Very difficult when we're not having physical connection, but you can focus on that kind of virtual connection. Not quite the same, but you can get in there. Contribute to the communities online, start giving your point of view, start learning, start interacting with people, and you'll be amazed. You can make new friends, and it can take you to new places. You can learn new things as well. So get yourself into a tarot community and make the most of that as well. So just some ideas of things that we can do during this time. I hope it is useful. I hope you are all keeping safe and well. And my thoughts, prayers and love and support are with all of you. Thanks for listening. I'll speak to you next time. Bye bye.